but I ended up at the corner of death and despair at a Walgreens in Iowa that just, it rattled me to my core, but also it was kind of made me feel alive. Now, before everybody comes for me, Heather, how did you know it was the wrong side of the railroad tracks? I'll tell you how we knew. Because everybody in the parking lot and or, perusing the aisles at this Walgreens had on Cookie Monster pajama pants. Now, you might say, Heather, that seems wildly niche, wildly specific. You always know you're on the wrong side of the tracks when you are in an establishment and everyone has on pajama pants. It was 9 p.m. at night. I get it. You're thinking maybe they wanted to tuck in early. No. It was negative 20 degrees out. So while you may just be in your comfort streetwear or you just want to be in your loungewear, it doesn't work when it's 20 below. Not a single person had a coat on, but damn it if they didn't have on Cookie Monster pajama pants. So we walk in, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to get a toothbrush, some Tums, a couple other accoutrements. We'll be good to go. We get in line at this Walgreens. There is a, and if you're white, specifically, you don't have to be white to understand this, but there's a very specific type of heavyset white woman who is from the wrong side of the railroad tracks. And she just, the way she, her voice is elevated. She's fighting with either her sister, her stepdaughter. It's like the mom and daughter, they're probably mother and daughter, but they look too close in age to actually, you couldn't question that they're mother and daughter, but that this heavyset white woman was obviously a teen mom. So the mother and daughter are screaming at each other. She's like, he's your boyfriend, he ain't mine. I'm not fucking dealing with it. She threw loose change at the other woman. It was fine. Trace and I are standing in the back just like, you know what, we're going to give them their space. So we already kind of watched like a cat fight go down. Guy in front of me checks out, gets his skull. It's a very, very specific chewing tobacco. He also picks up, some Magnum. So I'm like, obviously the party's on outside this Walgreens. And then it's our turn. Now you're probably thinking, Heather, why are you even sharing this story? Well, I shared this story on TikTok and it went wildly viral. And now many people have chimed in on this story. So I feel like I just have to, if you're not on the TikToks or the Instagrams, I gotta tell you what's going on. So I get to the desk, see the cashier, really nice guy, has a kind smile, has little gauges in his ears, kind of like a blondish, light brown, curly hair. Kind of takes a step back and he looks at me and he says, Wichita? I had a split second to decide. Did I want to pretend like I was from Wichita then? I knew this man? Or should I just casually say, nah, it's not me, and keep rolling? I chose adventure. I chose, we're in Des Moines. What the fuck? Why not? So this guy looks at me. He says, are you from Wichita? I said, oh yeah, Wichita. And his eyes light up. I mean, his eyes light up like it is Christmas morning. And he's like, I thought that was you. Do you remember? And I said, oh, I remember. And then he goes, J-Lo. And I said, oh yeah, J-Lo. And then he says, wow, it is good to see you. Now in this moment, I'm like, what happened in Wichita? What does J-Lo have to do with this? Clearly, this man thinks that I am somebody who did something with him and J-Lo was involved. I'm not taking a split second to think about it, but I'm like, I'm rolling with this. I'm ready for this adventure. So he goes, oh, wow, it is good to see you. I didn't really recognize you. And I said, well, I put on a lot of weight. I put on at least 65 pounds. So, I've had some health issues. I put on a ton of weight. And he's just like, no, it's good. No, it's fine. It's fine. You still look good. He's like, just so you know. And he puts his hands up. He's like, just so you know, I'm married. And I said, oh, yeah, no, totally. I mean, it's been a while. He's like, yeah, it's been a while. So, okay, I'm in my head. I'm like, all right, this may have been a college thing a couple years ago. It's been a while. And I'm like, I'm also married. And I point to Trace. Now, meanwhile, Trace, my dear friend, he's from Alabama, and he is just absolutely, he's not a twink. He's more of an otter. But he is a little gay thing, okay? With a thick Southern accent and perfectly coiffed hair and the most perfect natural teeth you've ever seen. I mean, I would take a photo of Trace's teeth, take it to a cosmetic dentist and say, this is what I want my veneers to look like. I mean, he's perfect. There's not a blemish on this man's face. His outfits are on point. But he is clearly radiating fabulous gay energy. So I turn to my friend. I go, oh yeah, I'm married too. This is my boo. And Trace is just like, no, I can't. And he just like silently walks out of this door. So he gets in the Uber because our Uber's about to leave us. And the guy's like, man, it's really good to see you. It's really good to see you. I said, so good to see you. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. Like, wow. And I am just rolling with this. And in my mind, I'm racking my brain. What could this man possibly think that we have done? So then I swipe my credit card, I grab my bag, I head out, and I'm immediately like, man, I got him good. I got him good. I'm gonna walk out of here, and he's just gonna be thinking, wow, it's good to see her. I remember what her pussy felt like. It was good to see her. So then he's like, hey, wait. I'm like, oh, he wants more. He wants to get my number. Something's about to happen. Turns out when I was trying to exit out of, use my credit card and exit out of the little program on the little keypad, it always has the option. Do you want to make a donation to kids with diabetes, children with eczema? And I'm like, fuck no. I forgot to press no, decline before it swiped my card. So meanwhile, I'm tapping my credit card. I'm not paying attention. I'm flirting with the man who thinks I'm from Wichita. He's clearly from Wichita. Anyways, so I have to run back in. I'm tapping my card, and then I was like, oh God, this is so embarrassing. I just told this guy I put on a ton of weight. And I was like, and so I just said it out loud. I was like, man, I'm so sorry. This is so embarrassing. I promise you my credit card's not going to get declined, but I haven't seen you in so long and I put on all this weight. And he's like, no, don't feel sorry. Don't feel bad about yourself. You look great. It's really good to see you. I was like, yeah, but that's so embarrassing that I just told you, like, I really let myself go. And then I turned around and the other guy in line's like, yeah, kind of nodding with me, like, yeah, this was not a clean exit. So then I look up, I'm trying to make eye contact with him because I still want to flirt with him just because I want him to feel something. I'm finally feeling something. Because fuck, it's -20 in Iowa. So this was warming my heart and my soul and my physical body. My excrements were finally getting feeling. And he's like, man, it's really good to see you. And I'm like, I got to get out of here. Stop flirting. And I run out. We get in the Uber and we're just laughing to ourselves. We're like, no one's going to believe this. And I call my husband. I'm like, honey, this guy thought I was somebody from Wichita. What do you think happened? He's like, oh, I know what happened. You were clearly a stripper. Because a lot of people who meet me who don't know I'm an entertainer, I have that very familiar face. I have exotic dancer face. I have exotic dancer voice. I have exotic dancer shoulders. But everywhere I go, and they always stop me and they go, how do I know you? And I'm like, you think that I gave you a lap dance once. So Jeff's like, Heather, it's very obvious. You clearly gave him a lap dance or maybe a happy ending at a strip club. You were probably dancing to J-Lo. Jenny from the block, you were grinding on him while he was eating a jalapeno popper. So this was a core memory for him. And I was like, that's right. He probably thinks I am J-Lo, the stripper from Wichita, who was grinding on him.